Guys, I legit feel like I am going to freaking throw up. I made the mistake this morning of looking a little bit further into this listeria outbreak. I was sitting down trying to eat some breakfast, reading through articles, reading through all of this information that's been released. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but some of the health inspectors that inspected the Boar's Head facility in Virginia, they've come forward talking about some of the things they found and saw inside of this Boar's Head factory. And let me just say, it will literally make you never want to eat a sandwich again. Like, even me, I'm a big dude. I don't want anything to do with Boar's Head ever again. I don't even know if I ever want to eat another sub. And that sucks because, man, Publix has some of the best subs, but now I feel even weird walking by the freaking deli. But let me just read to you all a little bit of what these health inspectors found. Health inspectors discovered dozens of disturbing violations, including the presence of bugs, pools of blood on the floor, and growing mold on equipment inside the Boar's Head plant linked to a deadly nationwide listeria outbreak. Deli meats produced at the Boar's Head factory in Jarrett, Virginia, were recalled last month. An inspector noted a rancid smell in the raw receiving cooler with ample amounts of blood and puddles on the floor. A black mold-like substance was seen throughout another holding cooler on January 9th, and again on the outside of 4 steel vats along with 1 to 2 inches of meat on June 1st. Inspectors noted seeing mold in different places during 6 visits in total. On June 10th, an inspector spotted approximately 50 to 20 flies going in and out of 4 vats of pickle left in the room. Small flying gnat-like insects and roaches were observed crawling on the walls and flying around the room. The room's walls had heavy meat buildup, pink-orange discoloration. All operations at the plant have been suspended since July after the recall of all of the Boar's Head meat. Food safety experts say that this plant may be the source of the outbreak and that the conditions led to the outbreak. So, like literally, I can take a lot, but I got a weak stomach when it comes to this. I'm about to freaking puke. What do you mean there was yellow, orangish meat buildup on the walls? Meat buildup on the walls? Flies, roaches flying around? Literal pools and puddles of blood all over the floor? Good God. Now listen, I understand that a lot of these factories, a lot of these plants, they're not as clean as we would like. I get it, okay? But this is next level. Oh God, I don't even really want to talk about it much. I'm going to go ahead and roll this news clip. I'm going to try not to throw up. I'm going to get myself together, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts in just a moment.
New information about that deadly listeria outbreak tied to deli meats. A Boar's Head deli meat plant in Virginia tied to the outbreak reportedly violated federal regulations, including instances of mold, insects, liquid dripping from the ceilings, and meat and fat residue on the walls, floors, and equipment. That is according to newly released records. The plant linked to the deaths of at least 9 people and the hospitalizations of about 50 others in 18 states, including in New York and in New Jersey. ABC's Jacqueline Lee with more.
Health officials are urgently warning consumers to check their refrigerators. At least 9 people have died linked to Boar's Head deli meat. The CDC reports 57 people have now been hospitalized, with cases reported across 18 states and at least 9 deaths due to a listeria outbreak. Listeria is a bacteria that can remain on surfaces like meat slicers and foods for weeks, with some people not experiencing symptoms of listeriosis for 10 weeks.
He always ate lunch meat, always boar's head.
Garshawn Morgenstein says his father got listeria after eating tainted liverwurst. His father, a Holocaust survivor, he alleges his father's infection led to meningitis and brain damage, ultimately passing away July 18th.
We're all still in shock for all of the things, you know, that he's seen and been through in his life to come to that.
Boar's Head is recalling about 7 million pounds of ready-to-eat meat and poultry products, with the recall spanning 71 products produced between May 10, 2024 and July 29, 2024, under Boar's Head and Old Country brand names. Boar's Head released a statement earlier this month saying, "We're conducting a rigorous investigation to identify the root cause of this incident, and the company has said safety is their absolute priority." They added, "We are conducting a full review of processes and procedures to ensure we consistently meet the highest standards of safety and quality." The Morgenstein family has filed a wrongful death lawsuit, their attorney writing no one should die from eating a sandwich. Through this lawsuit and others, we will determine what went wrong at Boar's Head.
You know, I know a lot of people who don't want anything to do with regular deli meat. They only want Boar's Head. And Boar's Head has built up a certain reputation. Like when you go to the deli, when you go to the grocery store, you know that Boar's Head is a little more expensive and it's supposed to be a little bit better. Like I said, I know plenty of people. I used to deliver groceries years ago, and I would deal especially with older people who would not touch regular deli meat. They would not touch the prepackaged ham like the Hillshire Farms or whatever it is and stuff like that. They didn't want anything to do with Oscar Mayer. They wouldn't touch any of that. They wouldn't even touch like the local deli meat. No, they had to have Boar's Head. So when you think of Boar's Head, maybe not for some of you, you know, super rich, you know, people out there, but when your average person thinks of Boar's Head, they think of quality. They at the very least think, hey, this stuff is one step above, you know, a lot of this other stuff. And therefore, when you're paying extra and you think that this is a better quality company, you would expect that they would have cleaner facilities, right? A lot of the reasons why people buy Boar's Head as opposed to some of these other lunch meats is because of the fact that they think Boar's Head delivers a certain type of quality. And, you know, you would think that, like I said, their facilities would be a little cleaner. You know, they would be a little healthier around there. But no, this is worse than almost anything I've ever heard of. The meat buildup on the walls is what really took me out. The orangish, pinkish, liverwurst, bologna buildup forming on the walls, you know, and you got flies and roaches feasting on this buildup, drinking from pools of blood on the ground. And then you wonder why we got so many diseases and all of these illnesses floating around. You know, it's absolutely disgusting. I'm glad they shut this plant down, but let me tell you this. If this is happening there, it's happening other places as well. And, you know, I think one of the glaring issues here, and a lot of people will overlook this, I almost overlooked it just now, is that, hey, you know, yes, these inspectors, they've come out and they've said, hey, we found all of this nasty stuff, right? Cool. But the reality is, if you're listening to what these inspectors say, some of these inspections were happening in January and February. So why did we have to wait until all of these people died for you all to come out and say, hey, you know, this facility is freaking disgusting? If you told people what was up back in January, maybe we wouldn't be at this point now where you got millions of pounds of meat being recalled, you got 9 people dead, you got multiple lawsuits, and God knows where this story goes from here. So yes, I'm happy that these people came out and spoke. I'm disgusted by everything they revealed. I totally believe it. But it's just like, you know, too little too late, because now we got people dead largely because, you know, the health issues that were happening at this facility were ignored. until a large outbreak of listeria happened. But they could have stopped it. But hey, it is what it is. For now, be careful eating sandwiches. And let me know what you think down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell. And I'll talk to you all soon in the next video.